Hi, Sandy here. Today I'm going to do some glue book pages, but before I start I'm going to give you a very brief tour of my craft room. It's just a small bedroom. I don't know, it's like 10 by 10 or so. And then people have asked me, how do I organize my stuff for my glue books, so I'll show you that real quick too, and then we're going to get started with the glue books. So this is it's just a table. I got it at the thrift shop for $10. Just your regular kitchen table. And that's my workspace. Then I've got this shelf that I built. It's about 6 feet long. It goes to the edge of that first window there. This is where I do scrapbooking and glue books. So this is where I keep my solid color paper, and I've got these 3 bins of my scrapbooking paper. There's themed paper in this first one. They're sorted by colors in this one, and these I cut down to 8.5 by 11 because I only do 8.5 by 11 pages. And then these are my black, brown, multicolor, and various other things in this bin. And these binders, I sort all of my themed stickers and everything, and I put them in binders. Like there's birthday in here. Everything for birthdays except the birthday paper, which would be in that bin, is in here. The stickers, the birthday scraps from the scrapbook paper. I make tags and borders to decorate my pages. There with that. Everything birthday is together right there. So when I make a birthday page, just pull that out and I can see everything. Things don't get forgotten. Anyway, and I keep my tags and borders in these 2 books. The white one is embellishments, and all my words are in there. Anyway, so I'm going to move on. So I have this bin, and it goes down here normally. I have this folding table. It's just a small, I think it's like 3 by 6. I got it at Walmart. And in my previous scrap room, well, it was I just had a 8-foot long desk with shelves above it and things underneath of it, and then on the opposite side of the room was my daughter's desk. And then I bought this table because I thought I can put it between the 2 desks and have some extra workspace. And when I set it up, it didn't leave us a lot of space on each side of the table, and I thought, I'm just going to take it back because it's not going to work the way I thought it would. But then I do set it up for temporary stuff, and I've used it for lots and lots of things, and I set it up here in my craft room a lot, and right behind underneath of it is a chair that I keep in here. So anyway, this box, I keep some music sheets in there and some scrapbook paper that I might want to use for backgrounds, and newsprint and blank envelopes and lots of scrapbook paper. And then I've got things like backgrounds, fashion, 8.5 by 11 sheets. For some of my glue book pages, I use these papers that we watercolored, just wild and crazy. And then I've got some calendar pages. Oh, my brother loves cars. Cars, calendar pages. Oh, this is my Christmas. I did a Christmas glue book last year, and I got stuff ready for next year's. And then calendar pages, my Holly Hobby calendar pages, my Victorian house calendar pages, my Victorian calendar pages, and then I got a Barbie calendar. So that's what I keep in there. And then I've got this milk crate that I store under the desk right there. And I keep these binders in there. This is my binder, my Victorian binder, and it's a mess. I just stuff stuff in there. I've glued things onto pages with a speck of glue and put 3 rings. I use my 3-ring punch for that. And then I use some page protectors, put stuff in that. And a lot of things are just floating around loose in there, but it works. And then I store it in this bin. I've got calendar pages. I like using landscapes, so I've got all that. I got this book. I haven't done anything with it, but there's a lot of cool cards in there for glue book pages. This is people in fashion, but that's not Victorian stuff, and I'm working on my Victorian book right now, so I'm not using that. So this Victorian book, it's got like houses, Victorian houses, and I got a big section of Victorian people. It's a mess, but it works for me. Yeah, here's some of my Victorian people. Anyway, so I got my Victorian book. I've got this book, which is animals, birds, butterflies, teddy bears. I like to have a lot of birds and butterflies. And then I've got this book, which is flowers, Victorian houses, landscaping, outdoor stuff. And then I've got this. It's just a gallon storage bag, and I keep my Victorian stickers and ephemera in there, just little things. And then this is my black. I have a bag for each color of all my stickers and stuff, and this is black, and a lot of that is kind of Victorian style, so I'm using that too. Then I've got all this strips of paper. I keep this handy when I'm doing my glue books. That's from when I trimmed down all of my, I'm moving slow here, all of my paper to 8.5 by 11. So I have a ton of scraps now, and that's okay. And then I have this box, and I've just put a lot of little things in there. I've got circles, postage, like postage stamps. Those are great on glue book pages. Tiny flowers and stickers. Tickets. Lots of tickets. This kind of stuff. And I've got a lot of these cards with printing on them. Those are pretty cool. Hearts, stars, banners. That's these things. Tiny tags like that. I need to use those more. And small squares. Those are good bases for making embellishments. Small rectangles, large squares, journal cards, you know, just on and on. These are a lot of small things that I keep handy in there. And on the other side of my craft room, I have this dresser. I keep gift wrap and gift bags and bows and stuff in there. That's this side. On the other side, I keep extra fabric and yarn and stuff. I don't do that craft much. And then I've got some drawers here of stuff that I don't use a lot, craft supplies. And oh, there's a corner. I've got this project right here. I just can't seem to get to it. I'm doing something with my Christmas ornaments. I gotta get that done because I'm just gonna let that clutter up my room till I get it done. And it's been 6 months. I've been working on it since before Christmas. And then this corner, I've got my Boyd's Bear collection. All the plush animals up high because my dog comes in here and chews them up if she can. And then the figurines. So I got all my Boyd's Bears here. This is a drawer from an old cheap metal filing cabinet. And when I pack up to go to a crop, I put a lot of stuff in hanging file folders and put it in that drawer and take that drawer with me to crops. And that works well for me. It's got kind of sharp edges. Not real bad, but... So I'm going to hook up my camera to my stand over here. This is my high-tech stand. I just put a board here. I got a board here screwed onto a 2x4, which is attached to the back of my desk. I had to put a little board on it here to make it flush, and then it was kind of leaning forward, so I stuffed some paper in there to make it stand up a little straighter. And I don't use a camera to videotape. I don't use my phone to videotape like a lot of people do. I use just a regular camera. So I got the camera stand up there. So, it's 10 minutes I've been talking already. A lot of my videos are just craft with me, just something to have on in the background while you're crafting, you know, just so you're not crafting in silence. So, I hope you enjoy my video. I'm going to do some glue book pages. I have some stuff all laid out for some pages on here, which I'm going to glue into my book. So, I'll be right back. Okay, so this is my glue book that I'm working on right now. I've been working on this for a while. It's something I found at a thrift shop. It's I'm doing it all Victorian style. These pages are about 11 by 16. They're pretty big. So I usually have something large. This is pretty much a whole magazine page right here. But I start with something large and then fill in the space. So, and I'll do a flip through when this is all done. But that's my Victorian glue book, and it's got these black pages. And I don't think you can buy these new anymore, but I find them at thrift shops. This is going to be my second book like this that I'm going to finish. Most people buy, well, they use like magazines or books, and then they glue over the pages, and they think they have to remove some pages so they're not gaping open like that. I haven't tried that. But I'm liking these. They're just a blank space, and they don't get too gaping full because they're made to fill up with stuff. And this one I can even adjust it, untie this and give it a little more slack if it gets too fat. So this is going to be my second book like this to fill up. I found two more red ones. They're not as fancy on the front as these, but they're about the same size. So I got plenty to play with for quite a while. Now, and I did just recently find this one, so now I've got three more. And at first glance, I look at it and I thought, well, that's a baby book. No, it's not a baby book. It's just really cute, and it says special memories. And it's actually a scrapbook, I think. And let me see. These pages are well, they're almost as big, slightly smaller than the 11 by 16. So there's a lot of space to fill up. This has 24 pages, so two sides would be 48 pages to fill up. So that's my next one. And I do these glue books a lot. I do just regular loose sheets of paper, 8.5 by 11, and I make collages on them on both sides. And then when I get 25 sheets, so 50 pages, then I bind them. You can see where I've drilled some holes and sewn this up, and then I put a cover on there. This is just a piece of scrapbook paper, and this is actually out of a calendar, I think. And this is scrapbook paper on the back. I left that solid white, and then I just write in marker on here, and sometimes I have to rewrite it because it gets worn off. This is Sharpie on. This is white duct tape. So, this is one of my favorite pages, one of my first pages. I got this out of a magazine, and on the same page was this one, and then these swatches of fabric. So I cut all that out, and I kept it together, and then I added some landscaping, and I used, I mentioned I like to watercolor on pages, just splatters and patterns, and so I used one of my watercolor pages for a background, and I added some ephemera here. I like to make these little clusters. And this one is randomness. I called the book Randomness. Just random things, unrelated things. I did do a Halloween page here. These are just random things put together on a page. This one is a vintage stuff together. But mostly I like Victorian stuff. So there's that. Now I am finally ready. I hope I haven't bored you. I'm going to start gluing my pages together. And I've saved the back covers of scrapbooking pads, and I cut them up and make tags and stuff with them, but they're just haven't been used yet. So I've got this stuff together to do a page with. I'm going to start with I got this magazine page of some landscaping. It's got some swan statues. Well, they're, I don't know what they are. Pelicans? Or no, not pelicans. Egrets. I don't know what they are. But it's just a nice page. And it's not really Victorian, but it's timeless. So I'm going to get that glued. And with these black pages, I use a lot of glue because I use glue sticks. That's my choice. You may have another choice that you prefer to use. You can do things your own way. It's your project. But just saying that these black pages seem to soak up a lot of glue, so I make sure I get things glued pretty well. Use a lot of glue on my pages, on my paper. Okay. Got some glue on my thumb. I'm just going to smear it on there. Okay, so get this lined up here. Wrap it around this curve on the page. There. Now sometimes I use thicker things. Like this is cardstock, and it's I kind of have to curl it first to get it wrapped around the page, but this is not going there. So I'm going to glue this on. It is two-sided. It says life is better with your best friend, and these are Victorian ladies, but I like this side better. One of my first videos I did about glue books, I called it How to Glue Book, and that must be what people look up when they're interested in glue books, because that video has gotten over 4,000 views, and I don't have a lot of fans. I just reached 350, and it's taken me over 2 years to reach that many. And thank you all my recent subscribers. And here lately, well, the last week I've been on vacation and I've done several videos, but I've been kind of busy. My daughter graduated from high school, and we had to have her party, and I redid my garage and workshop, painted it and stuff. So I've been kind of busy, and I haven't done any, not many. Well, that didn't work out. I need a bigger scrap to fill in that. But anyway, I haven't had much time to do my videos, so anyway, I got this. I printed that off Pinterest. So I haven't had much time to do my videos, but meanwhile, when I've been kind of neglecting my channel, it's gone from like 320 to 350. It's grown when I was ignoring it. Okay, so this is a house with a porch from a Victorian house, and I've got this bird sticker, and it's kind of old. I'm going to put some glue on it. Birds are one of my favorite subjects to use. I think I'll put it right there. One thing about these black pages, it's hard to see where the edge of them is, so I have to pick it up and make sure I get it lined up right. I got a little gap there, but it doesn't matter. And now this is Tim Holtz ladies. I got a package of those, and I'm really enjoying using them. I got to get these little pieces of paper out of there. Oh, there's another one between her knees. So I've been on vacation this week. I found a little bit of time to do some videos and play with I did some scrapbook pages. So I'm going to stand these two ladies on these rocks here. And things don't have to be in scale. That looks pretty good though, but, well, they look a little bit small for the scene, but they don't have to be in scale. Just have some fun. Okay, and then I've got just this little scrap with a map on it, and it's a sticker. It says birch seed quality. I already stuck that on there. So I'm going to glue the back. And I want this right here, just for no reason. You've got to kind of let yourself go. Okay, and then this is a sticker of a bird on a nest. I really like using birds on my pages. So that goes there. And then I've got this butterfly. Oh, I forgot. I cut this off of scrapbook paper. It had butterflies all over it, and they were not overlapping, so they're good for embellishments. So I cut them out, but I left the antenna alone till the last minute because they would get torn pretty easily trying to store them and flipping through them and stuff. So I left that on till the last minute. I have a lot of these, and I keep forgetting to cut out the antenna. Okay, it's still sticky. So I'm putting that up here. I like butterflies and birds. And then this is just a little embellishment that came with some die cuts that I bought, and it's even clipped off the edge. But I'm gonna just adorn my page with it. And actually I was gonna stick it over here. Well, I'm going to anyway. Now, I was gonna stick it over here, overlapping. But since I got some blank space to fill in, it didn't work out the way I planned. I don't know why. I was going to put this here, but it's too narrow. But I'm going to go ahead and put it, I don't know. I've got this scrap right here. I usually try to cover up all of the black, but you don't have to. I'm going to put this right here. And then I've got this scrap, but it's a little bit of lace. I'm going to fill it in. I just tore it. It doesn't have to be fancy. I'm going to fill the space in right there. Then I need something to go here, because this didn't work out the way I planned. So, okay. I've got this envelope of small squares. Let's see. There. That'll fill it in. I try not to think too much about things, and I don't want to overlap my postage stamp right there because I like it. So I'm going to trim the edge off of this. There. Maybe I'll put that straight edge against that. Yeah. Okay, so that page is done. Okay, and on to the next page. I've got 6 pages ready to glue together. And then I will have 6 more pages to do to finish the book, and I might get those done this evening. So we'll do the next page in just a minute. Okay, on to the next page. I've got this. This was from a 12 by 12 sheet of cutouts. This is, I think it's graphic 45. So that goes there. And then I got this cut out from a magazine. And it says, "Taking tea above the creamery." It's from a magazine article. I don't know what it means. So I've got this sticker. I'm going to put that on there. And then I've got this heart and a postage. So I'm going to cover that up. Then I've got this picture of some birds in a birdhouse. And I've got this gaping, this hole here, so I've got this little scrap I'm gonna glue on right there. And then I've got my Holly Hobby calendars had these, some of them had these recipes in there, so I've saved them, but what am I gonna do with them? Just decorate a page with it. What the heck? Then I've got this. That's from some scrapbook paper. And I've got, this is from the back of a little miniature calendar. And it's going to go in here, right there. This is from a calendar page, and I cut it into a tag shape and glued it onto this piece of paper and used my decorative scissors. So that goes there. Then I got this out of a magazine. It's 3 pretty little jars, and it's going to go here. And then I've got these roses, and I'm going to put that here. And I had, let's see, this is like an old receipt. I don't remember where I was going to put this stuff. Oh, okay. This is going to go here. I'm going to put the flowers up here. Or here. I don't know. So I'm ready to start gluing. Let's start with this because it's going to get overlapped by that mantle with the teacups on it. Okay. So a strange thing happened to me this week. I've been working 41 years. I'm a custodian. I've been one for the last 10 years at my current job, for 10 years the previous job. I worked in a drugstore for 10 years, 18 years. And I've always worked on my feet. I've always worked full time. But this week I spent a lot of time relaxing because I'm on vacation. And a few days ago, my feet and ankles got all swollen up. And I just had my 60th birthday. I'm not a young woman. And I could stand to lose about 65 pounds. So I know that didn't help matters much. But my ankles got all swollen up, and that just doesn't happen to me. When I was 9 months pregnant at age 41, I did not get swollen ankles. The next day we went to the zoo. We live right across the river from Omaha. The zoo is about 10 minutes from our house. The Henry Dorley Zoo in Omaha. It's like one of the highest ranked zoos in the country. And we walked. We walked all over that zoo, and that was really good to get the blood pumping through my ankles. And then they're a lot better now. They're looking really good now. So I learned something. When I retire in about 5 or 6 years, I'm going to have to make sure I exercise, because I don't exercise. Like I said, I'm on my feet 8 hours a day, and I know that's no excuse. You still need to exercise. And I've always been under my thought process, and I know it's wrong, is I exercise when I want to lose weight, which is always, but I have 2 speeds. Live my life to the fullest and eat what I want and do what I want, or lose weight. And I have had some success in the past, but I just never keep it off. It's been 10 years now. I went from 185, I'm only 5'1". I went from 185 pounds to 130, and I was wearing a size 6. and I loved it, and I felt so great. But those old eating habits, and I just can't seem to make that a permanent lifestyle choice. And you know what, you feel like I just don't have time. You know what, my time is valuable to me, and I don't want to spend it exercising. But when I'm retired, I'm hoping it's going to work. When I'm retired, I hope I'm going to have time to exercise, more time. Feel like I have more time. And I plan on being busy because I love reading books. I read a lot. I read about a book and a half every week, mostly at work. Yeah, mostly at work. I love my crafting, and I do have a bike, and I love riding. I like riding my bike. But last year I didn't get it out at all. This year so far I haven't got it out. But I need to be more active. I really do. And since I had my daughter late in life, I was 41. She just graduated high school. She's going to college. It might be quite a while before I'm a grandmother. So I need to take better care of myself because I want to be around for that. Okay, wait, okay. Now this, you might have saw one of my previous videos where I removed all of my stickers from their backs and I put them on pages, and I liked it because on wax paper, I saw that on another video, somebody else's web page, YouTube page, and I liked it because you can get a lot more stuff on a page. And it does kind of work. You can peel the sticker off, but this is kind of wasted now. You can't really reuse it, and I have rearranged them a little bit, and sometimes this wax paper will tear and you got to pick the little pieces off. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm kind of on the fence on it. It's good and it's not. So I'm not gonna do the wax paper anymore. I do have a page of teeny tiny flowers like this big, lots of them, and I got a lot of those. You know, the last stickers on the page, I got a lot of those on one page of wax paper, and I like that. And you're not searching all over for them. Okay, I think everything's glued down on this page. Yep. Okay. Now, ready for the next page. I have to shift my book over. There we go. Sometimes I videotape and I got to be between these two lines. This is the leaf of my table. And that's where my camera is. So, okay. So for this one, this is a piece of scrapbook paper, and that's going to go here. And this is a picture of a house. It's actually a castle. I found like a big brochure from a castle. I'm not even sure where it's from, a foreign country or something. I don't know where it's from. But it's a pretty room. I bought it just so I could cut it up and make scrapbook pages with it. Then I've got this. I printed that up from Pinterest. It's going to go here. And this I printed from Pinterest. Man, I wish glue wasn't so expensive. I would just be printing willy-nilly from Pinterest. So that's going to go here. And as you go, you got to figure out how am I going to overlap things. And then I've got this. This was a square, and I cut the bottom off so that it would fit. I'm going to overlap this under here. And then I got a bird cage. I'm going to put that up here. this is just a hand, and I'm going to put that on there. This was Tim Holtz die cuts, and it came apart when it's 3 little pieces, but I'm going to keep it together, so I got to glue those pieces together. And then I got a heart. I'm going to put that there. And dog. Dogs have been around since Victorian. Obviously, this is not a Victorian dog, but they were around. So just to make my page really cute, I'm going to put that right there. Yep. And that saves me a little bit of my Victorian stuff. I don't want to use it all up, you know. Okay, so I'm going to start with this. So we live close to the Henry Dorley Zoo, and yet it's been like 5 years since we've been there. We just don't go there very often. So I just finished a glue stick, and what I do is I take a new glue stick and I take the cap off and put it on the old glue stick, and I toss it. And then I have this cap that I've scribbled on with a Sharpie, and then I always know this is the one that I'm using. And then you don't want to just have several glue sticks opened up and, being used at the same time. So that keeps me from, that helps me know which one that I'm using. Okay. So I got to get this around this band here. Okay. And getting it straight, that's kind of a challenge. Okay, looks good. Alright. And I've got these 2 pages side by side, and they're all just basically mix and match stuff. So it can continue. I don't worry about blending this page with this page. It's all just kind of mix and match. And sometimes I'll do a little bit of a theme, but then not on the next page, but it doesn't really matter. Just have fun with it. Okay, now I got a little bit of a problem. Not a big problem. No, it's not a big problem. I need to glue this first because I want it overlapped by that page. But this is not going to overlap. Let me get this glued. So I need to line this up where I want it up here. And line this up where I want this, so that I know where to put this down at. So it needs to go right there. Then I can move that and glue it down. So then next will be this page. My timer, you might hear my timer go off in about 10 minutes. It's laundry day. I do laundry on Sundays. Today's Sunday. And I found that if I set a timer, because I'm upstairs, we built our family room above our garage. We built a new garage 10 years ago, and the family room is above it, so we're up on the second floor. So I'm in a spare bedroom now, but we hang out upstairs. And then we got the main floor and then the basement. So the washer is 2 floors down in the basement. So I'm not going to hear the timer go off on the washer. So I set a timer for an hour because that's how long a load takes. And then I've got an hour to play. Well, this didn't work out quite the way I planned it because it's got a black gap, but you know what? It's okay. I'll just put it right. Oh, that's not good. I don't want to overlap my birds. Okay, I'm going to snip off this. There's not much up here. Okay, now it's not overlapping my birds. I like to have a Victorian person on every page. Okay, now it's time for my dog. He's so cute. I found a little book at a thrift shop, and it's called Smiling Dogs. And every page, it was just a small little book about 5 inches square. And it had a picture of a smiling dog on every page. So I bought it just so that I could cut it up and use them on my glue book pages. Alright, now I've got this Tim Holtz thing. I think I'll stick that under his ear. I'm going to go lower because I don't want to cover up my butterfly. And then here's the little square that goes in there. I'm just going to use it because it's there. I could just toss it and I would never miss it, but I'm going to use it. And then here's the little circle. It says enclosure. Who cares what it says? Alright, and then my birdhouse. I'm going to put that up here. And I've got a heart. I'll put that here. Is that everything? I think I'll put that over here more. I like to overlap things sometimes. This ear's not sticking down too good. I gotta put some more glue on it. And this corner, it's not wrapping around this fold very well, because that's thin cardstock. Alright, another page done. Moving on to the next one. Gotta shift my page over here. So this is a calendar page, and I trimmed off the top so it'll fit. And this border along here with the roses and lace, it was also here. But I cut it off, and I can make a border for my scrapbooks with it, and then that gives me a little bit of room to decorate with. So then I've got this card. This was on a 12 by 12 sheet of paper that I bought with a bunch of little cards, and I cut that off, and that goes here. And then this also was from scrapbook paper that I've cut apart, or maybe it was die cuts. So that goes here. And then I got this. I printed off like 6 of these various ones from Pinterest, and they're so pretty. And usually I try to hold on to things, save that for later, but no, they're too irresistible. I really like them. And then I've got some little things to glue onto here, or add my own little touch, because if this is all I put on there, you know, you can go for that. That's fine. But I like to use up my stuff, because then I can buy more. And that's how it works. So, I got some embellishments to add to that. Okay. Lots of glue on it, and get the edges very well. I think I'm going to finish off that tube of glue before I'm done, and maybe start another one. Alright. Now, let's see. Oh, here it is. This is cutting board from Dollar Tree. There's 2 in a pack. And I've been using this one, and it's all covered in glue, and I don't want to stop right now to clean it up, so I'm going to continue on with my other sheet. So $1. You get 2 sheets and you can just keep cleaning them and they'll last a long time. It's great. Okay. Old-fashioned handwriting is always nice to fill in some spaces. And I love this. Music print is great. Birds and flowers and landscapes and anything you like. And you don't have to do Victorian. I love Victorian. That's my favorite. But randomness. I've done. I did 2 scrapbooks, 2 glue books for my brother. He had some old car magazines that we cut up. And so we did those 2 books for him, classic cars. Let's see. I'll use this picture. I find myself buying a lot of scrapbooking for less that I would never use on scrapbook pages, but I want it for my glue books and. Like I don't have enough stuff now. Okay, how did I have this arranged? I know I had the butterfly up here, and then I created kind of a little cluster here. I like to make clusters. Oh, I gotta cut out my butterfly antenna. Also, I don't know if I needed to do this on the other one, but this is more of a moth, I think. But I got to cut out his tail. And it doesn't have to be precise because nobody's ever going to care or notice. Unless that's the way you like it. Maybe you will care. I always end up with a lot of these tiny little pieces of paper all over my floor, especially when I use my corner rounder. Okay. Oh, just a minute. As soon as I finish this page, I got to go down and fold a load of laundry. My timer's going to go off in just a minute. Overlapping is kind of a skill, and I had to learn it. It was a little bit of a challenge for me. I don't say I'm great at it, but I like it. It's good enough. Okay, this page is done, and I will be right back. Got to go fold some laundry. Okay, I'm ready to move on to the next page. Okay, so let's see what I've got here. I've got this bird, mother feeding her babies. I've got this picture that I cut out of a book that I bought. The book was The Coat of Many Colors, which has come out in a lot of different versions, and this one had nice artwork in it. Then I've got this strip of scrapbook paper. And I've got this is a piece from the calendar. Just going to fill in a little space right there. And then I've got these 2 pictures out of a magazine, a nice country kitchen. This page is going to have a country theme to it because this old schoolhouse with that stove reminds me of the country theme, like Little House on the Prairie or. And then here's a house, a nice country house. So that goes here. And then I've got this and this. That's going to have a little bit of a black border around it. And then I've got these 2 stamps I'm going to put on here. They're off scrapbook paper. They're not real stamps. And then I've got this, I guess I'll put there. Okay, ready for some gluing. Okay, I'm going to start with the bird. I got a whole book of birds. See, there's a page from the bird book. It's kind of hard to find books, for me anyway, that have a lot of good pictures in it that are good for a glue book page. They're too specific, you know. I'm going to put this down next because it's going to go... No, it's fine. Okay, I'm going to put this down next. And this is peeling up a little bit, so I'm going to glue that better. Okay. Lots of glue. Make it stick good on these black pages. Okay, so I want this lined up with the... Oh, gotta line it up across the bottom, silly. There we go. I'm touching right there. And then this piece of scrapbook paper, I guess I need to trim it down a little bit. Maybe slightly more. Okay. I'll get it. I'll get it. Sooner or later, somehow, I am going to get it. Okay, it's going. It's going. It's hard to glue around this curve on the edge of the page. Okay. It's not perfectly straight, but I'll take what I can get. And it's kind of not enough glue on this edge. Too much messing around with it, I guess. Okay. Now, I'll get this card glued down. I forgot what I was going to put there. Did I lose something? Well, I'll get it figured out somehow. Okay, so I'm going to glue this on next. Oh, there we go, there we go. I've got this. I knew I had something for that. Okay, so I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to put my little kitchen pictures down here at the bottom. Get those next, because the house is going to overlap that a little bit. We'll see how it fits. that. I think I want it right here. Then I've got this heart. And that'll fill up some of this space here. It's okay to leave a little bit of the black showing through, or a lot of the black if that's what you prefer. Okay, got this stamp. And this is Graphic 45 scrapbook paper. And she's holding a doll, so we put this doll on here. And then this stamp also came with it, and it's a lamb. And that, I want that right there. Okay, I think it needs a little something. A little something. Where's my stickers? Oh, those. Let's see now. I need to find something to go on there. I dropped something on the floor. I gotta pick it up. Okay, I got a bunch of these things. I'm gonna take this moth and this owl. Stick them. Well, it's kind of heavy on the stamps now. I'm keeping the moth. I've got that. Okay, I think that's all I need. Maybe I'll put that right there. And the stamp up here. Okay. One more page for this video. I gotta move my book over here. Okay. Well, I usually start out with something big, but I didn't really do it this time. I've got this thing. Don't know what I'll ever do with it. It's too big for scrapbook pages, so I thought I'm just going to get that used up on there. And then I've got this heart and this tag that I've made. And then I've got this tag. It's going to go here, and this with the bicycle. The bicycle is not, well, they rode bikes in Victorian times. I don't know how Victorian the bike is, but it's fine. Okay, and then I've got this I cut out of a magazine, some flowers. That's going to go over here. This is a old postcard, not vintage old, but I'm going to put that on there. This is from a Kleenex box, and I put a sticker on it right there, and it's going to fill in this space right here. Then I've got this butterfly and these keys. This stamp. This teddy bear. I'm going to put that someplace. I haven't decided exactly where. And that. I'm going to use all of this up. And this is going to be the last page for this session. So I'm going to start with this. My last video I uploaded a few days ago, It was of me making some tags and borders. And my internet is so slow sometimes. It doesn't happen all the time, but first you got to process. Well, I use my movie maker program on my computer that my daughter downloaded for me, and a long video takes about an hour for it to process and save it. And see, right now I'm videotaping upside down. The camera's upside down, and that movie maker, I can flip this over so it's right side up. So then once I get it processed, right before I went to bed, which was kind of late, okay, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, it finally finished processing, so I started the upload to YouTube. And I got up about 8 o'clock, I think. So like 7 hours later, when I got up, it still had over an hour to go to finish uploading that video. And then we went to the zoo that day. That's the day we went to the zoo. And it had just finished uploading and starting processing. Once you get it up to YouTube, then YouTube processes the video. And so we went to the zoo for a few hours, and before I left, it was still at zero processing. You know, like half an hour after it started processing, it just wasn't doing much. But then we were at the zoo from about 10 to 2 or 3, and it was all done processing and ready for me to publish when I got home. But wow, it took forever. This is a little bit loose. I'll put some glue on there. So, and it's my internet, you know, and my internet is with Cox. We used to have Cox, our cable television, our telephone, and our internet with Cox. And over the years, it just keeps going up, up, up in price. So I was paying $100. It had just gone up over $100, barely over $100 a month for only cable. And then it was like $60 a month, $40 a month for the telephone, which we hardly ever used, our landline. And then it was like $60 for the internet. So I had it. My bill was $200 a month with nothing to show for it. So I said, that's it. We're getting rid of the landline, and we're getting rid of cable TV, and we got Netflix and Hulu. And the cable company told me, well, you need to upgrade your internet to handle the Netflix, because we have several TVs, and well, between the TVs and the computer and watching a lot of stuff in 3 different places, 3 or 4 different places, you need some stronger internet to handle all of that. Plus, our family room is up in the front right corner of the house, upstairs, and where all of our computers and our main TV and everything is. And then my brother, who lives with me, his bedroom, where he watches his TV all the time, is down in the basement in the back right corner of the house, so opposite ends of the house. And he did have internet. No, he didn't have internet down there. He could pick up the signal, not very well down there. So they said, oh, you need to upgrade that. So now it's like $104 a month for just for cable, just for internet. We got rid of the others. So then it was working great. And then one night it went out. And then the next day it came, and then it was back on, and it wasn't working right. It kept going. We kept getting a weak signal. So I called them and said we needed it fixed. So they come out, and the guy says, you got cable lines all over the house, and I disconnected a bunch of them. And he says, you don't really need to plug your TV into the internet box, which the internet box is right next to our main TV, because it's wireless. You don't have to do that. And then the next day, it's still not working well. It's terrible. So I had to call them out again. They had another guy. He says, you do need to plug your TV into the internet box, even though it's wireless, because that pulls a lot of your strength from your other devices away. So you should plug that in. So we did that, and then he says, you don't even have any a live cable coming up to your family room. Well, yes, I do, because we had that installed when we built our addition. No, there's no signal there. And it was late in the day. He was already working overtime, and he says, every job I've had today has been super frustrating. And so he worked on it, and come to find out, the guy the day before, a couple of days before, said that we had too many wires and he disconnected them. He literally cut the wire that goes up to our family room. So he was able to tie into that and get it going again. But since then, our internet is slow and it's just not good. We get a lot of buffering, slow uploads. It's not good. Okay, I'm done with my page, and thanks for listening to me jabber, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Bye-bye.